Hi, I'm Dr. T, and I'm a pediatrician. On Ask Dr. T, I answer health questions from teens. Questions ranging from safe sex to self-love to questions about body parts. Let's get this episode started. Today's set of questions is going to be about pregnancy scares. Question 1. I had unprotected sex, but I wasn't ovulating, and he didn't finish inside of me. Is there a chance I could still get pregnant? Okay, so first, for anybody who doesn't know, ovulating is the time when an egg is released from an ovary into the fallopian tubes and into the uterus. And that is the time when there is highest risk of pregnancy. So that's what this question was saying, is that this person was not ovulating, but there is still a risk of pregnancy. There's still a risk of pregnancy when someone is not ovulating, but it's possible that the penis released pre-cum or pre-ejaculate. And there is a tiny chance that that pre-cum did or does contain sperm. So the purpose of pre-cum is really to kind of lube up the inside of the penis or the urethra to allow for the most successful ejaculation when the time comes. But sometimes that pre-cum, again, does contain and pick up some sperm along the pathways. And so it is always important to try to use protection, and keep in mind that even using the withdrawal method or the pull-out method can still lead to pregnancy with pre-cum. So yes, there is a possibility for pregnancy, although if you weren't ovulating and he did not ejaculate in you, the chances are going to be low, but still possible. All right, question number 2. Can you get pregnant if you have oral sex and then have sperm in hand and later wipe when you pee? Okay, so there are a lot of concerns about sperm taking some random route and eventually getting to the vagina. Realistically, sperm needs a kind of perfect environment to survive. And so anytime it's outside of the body, that sperm is less likely to survive. So if sperm is on a surface and it has dried or been washed off, then that sperm is dead. The chance of hours later, even minutes later, oral sex, maybe having sperm on the hand, washing your hands, going pee, wiping. In medicine, we can never say something's 100%, but the chance is going to be basically as minimal as it gets. So I wouldn't worry about that. Question number 3. I've had sex recently and my period is late. Should I be concerned that I'm pregnant? Yes. Don't panic. So in the teen years and in the adult years, there are many reasons for a period schedule to be thrown off, but pregnancy is one of them. Now, to answer your question here, when to take a pregnancy test. Pregnancy happens when a sperm is introduced into the vagina and goes up to the uterus and meets up with an egg. And when those two meet up, that's called fertilization. Then that fertilized egg has to implant in the wall of the uterus. And that can take a week or two for that implantation to even happen. So taking a pregnancy test a week or even 2 weeks after sex might give you false reassurance, because the implantation releases hormones into the body, but those hormones might not be high enough to be detected on a pregnancy test. So the time to take a pregnancy test is generally, so if your period was supposed to come on Monday, you should wait until either a week later or until that period time has totally elapsed. So usually like 5 to 7 days after your expected period date. That would be the time to take a pregnancy test. Or a few weeks after you've had sex if your periods are irregular. But it's going to take some time for that pregnancy test to become positive. So give it time and then take that test. All right, question number 4. Is it true that you can't get pregnant while you're on your period? Okay, that's not true. You can get pregnant while you're on your period. Now, even though that's going to be kind of one of the lowest time periods risk for pregnancy, it is possible, and this is crazy, it is possible that sperm can live in the uterus for 3 to 5 days. So again, the chance of pregnancy is going to be very low at this point in time, but not impossible, because that sperm can hang around. Bless it. So don't count on your period being a sure time for sex, okay? Question number 5. How likely am I to get pregnant from grinding naked? Okay. So I get questions about like dry humping or like accidental ejaculation on pants or things like that. So grinding naked is probably the highest risk because there's no barrier there, and if there is some ejaculate or even pre-cum like we just talked about that gets on the body and close to the vagina, it's possible that that sperm can get into the vagina. It would have to be in the area of the vagina, but that would be a possibility. Now, if you are sort of dry humping and you're wearing clothes, the chance of pregnancy is going to be none. Sperm really doesn't pass through clothing, especially if it's multiple layers, if someone's wearing jeans. It's really not going to happen unless the clothes are just completely saturated with sperm and the clothes are very thin and you put the clothes right next to the vagina. So don't worry if you are wearing clothes and ejaculation happens. But if you're naked and there's ejaculation near the vagina, then you need to go shower, clean off quickly. So that wraps up this round of pregnancy scare questions. And remember, if you have a question for Ask Dr. T, you can either respond in this video or submit through my website, askdrt.net.